Faces on YouTube thumbnails might be changing here very soon. MrBeast has declared war unofficially on the soy face. So thumbnails that have these kind of faces are going to no longer be the norm because YouTube is rolling out a feature for A and B testing on thumbnails. Some creators have access to it. MrBeast being the most popular YouTuber out there, of course he has this feature already. He said he's tested it on a few of his recent videos, and he actually found that the videos where his thumbnail had his mouth closed in a regular smile, not the soy boy look, actually performed better. This has been a little debate over the years. I've known many people that say if they see YouTubers with open mouths on their thumbnails, they don't click them. I can understand that because at times it's cringe, it's a little bit over the top. I'm even guilty of it at times, but whenever you follow through with any kind of YouTube creator course or anything that YouTube themselves recommend, or even other content, I guess, schools and academies that teach you how to be a successful creator, they always recommend your mouth open. Like this, they say that it entices people to click. I know with us people that are older, we're middle-aged, we're in there, we don't want to have any of these, I guess, clickbait thumbs where people have the mouths open. I don't understand that how that makes it clickbait, but it's supposed to entice people because the face is enticing. I guess that's the psychology behind it. Well, anyways, MrBeast, who's the individual with the most subscribers on YouTube, pointed out that he's starting to see longer watch times on videos where his thumbnail face is closed, where it has a closed mouth instead of a one that's wide open. So these results come as a result of his, I guess, using this thumbnail A and B test feature that has rolled out. It hasn't rolled out to me yet, so I don't have access to test it, but I'll tell you this, I'm probably going to test the closed mouth thing and see what happens on that. Now, these screenshots didn't go into in-depth details. He didn't show the differences in watch time, and he didn't show anything like, I guess, click-through rate or anything of that nature, but it did show which one out of the 3 selections that he did were the winners. Okay, that's according to whatever this feature has. Again, this feature's not fully out. At least a dozen of MrBeast's recent videos have a closed mouth, and many actually appear to have been switched over. One of these articles I found went back on the Wayback Machine and looked at some of his older thumbnails, and then you could see now several of them have been changed to have the closed mouth. So he's already jumping on this, and I'm sure the rest of YouTube will as well, because whatever the most subscribed YouTuber does, the rest of people follow, myself included. So don't be surprised if you start to see some thumbnail changes. Again, this is the new YouTube thumbnails feature that has A and B testing. It's supposed to roll out to people by the end of this year. It hasn't been available to me yet. A few creators have access to it. Given MrBeast's enormous influence on the YouTube landscape, again, I'm pretty sure it's likely that we're going to see a lot of creators start to change their thumbs from having the soy mouth, as people like to call it, and closing their mouth a little bit. Which, following MrBeast isn't a bad plan of attack anyway for your content, considering he's one of the most talented creators on this fucking platform. All the heart and soul and passion and fun and money that he spends putting into his content, it's awesome. And again, like I said, YouTubers, we've used the shock face for quite some time. It's been something that's always been recommended. I can remember every network I've been a part of, every content course I've gone. I've even gone to like YouTube events for creators, like in Austin, Texas. They all recommend a shock face. Why? That's just the way that they've always said it. And you know, as YouTubers, we all like to feed this algorithm like it's a gremlin. Just don't feed it after midnight, right? I had to touch base on it. Yeah, I've done it quite a bit, but I've also done the angry face, the shock, the laugh, the funny, the silly, the worried, the sass. Done a little bit of everything on here because thumbnails is what people look at, right? Whether they're good, whether they're bad. I've had actually YouTube thumbnails pick me up on Twitter not long ago for my Splinter is gay thumbnail that I had, which I thought that was fucking hilarious. I don't take myself serious when it comes to making these thumbnails. I often go for the quick laugh, the quick like, oh my god, did he really do that? Like, I like the shock value when it comes to making thumbnails. I like to have little inside jokes and little bits for people to laugh, but I also like to catch the attention as well, which is why sometimes I make them look a little over the top. I don't feel that I'm that big of a clickbaiter. I think people's terms of clickbait is a little too loose. I think people really need to realize what clickbait really means, because for the most part, yeah, if you're looking for a thumbnail that looks, I guess, cookie cutter and stuff that people use to entice people to click, yeah, that's what I do. But a clickbait to me is something that's false. I don't really ever steer people the wrong way. I don't make false promises in my clickbait thumbnails and titles. For the most part, what you see is what you get with the thumbnails. It's just you have to capture somebody's eyeballs on it. But a huge part of it is whether people see the eyeball, but a huge part is whether people eyeball it and then click and follow through with that. And I know for the most part, all you guys that don't give a fuck about content creation, you guys are just tuning out. It's going in one ear through the other. You're like, I don't give a shit. I just want entertainment. No, this is a fantastic story, especially listening to MrBeast talk about it, because again, this does affect the platform as a whole. You're probably going to see content creators in the near future, if not today, start changing their thumbnails like almost immediately to where they're not opening their mouth at all, maybe not even showing teeth. And it's going to be interesting to see the change in the dynamic, considering for at least the last decade or so, people have been doing the shock face on thumbnails. And I know a lot of people say it's cringe. They never click any videos that have the soy boy mouth open. I get it. I'm in the same boat too. There's lots of content that I don't watch, but it's really interesting to see MrBeast come out and talk about this. So yeah, I laughed, I joked. MrBeast is against the YouTubers. He's against the soy boys. He's declaring war on the clickbait thumbnails. He's really not. He's just pointing out an interesting fact that he found out about his channel, which has 100 million subscribers and does really good for himself. So good on him. And I wish I had the A/B testing, because I would make 3 thumbnails for every video and see which one does the best. I feel that could be a very helpful tool when it comes to getting people to click on your content. So enough of this algorithm and clicking the content stuff and things like that. This was just going around in the stories as today, and I just wanted to talk about it. So what do you guys think? Do you miss the soy? I really don't care, to be completely honest, whether people have their mouth open or not. I can't imagine having such a first world problem where somebody's thumbnail triggers me that much. Just click the goddamn video. I'm just fucking around. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you on the next one. As Chad Gable would say, oh, thank you. From high school to headlocks, an unlikely pro wrestling story on paperback. Has 380 pages, has a glossy cover, and the pages themselves are cream, really put together. There's black and white images. There's about 16 chapters. This book is about pro wrestling and my experience with professional wrestling in the Texas wrestling scene. I'm 22 years of experience, and in it, I detail the ups and downs, the triumphs, the heartbreaks, everything that you would want to know about an experience in the local indie wrestling scene, all rolled up into one book. There's laughter, love, even sadness in it. Detailed stories, detailed images, a real good read.